I know that the government is working very, very hard with ourselves and with all facets to meet the deadline of July 1st.
I can honestly say that it is hugely, almost impossible for me to continue with FML if these conditions are implemented.
We're saying we're trying to ascend, and I want to insert this now to WTO.
The government stepping up efforts this year to ensure that the country is ready to become a member of the World Trade Organization ahead of the 2019 deadline.
Maybe some of this taxation problem was a result of us removing tariffs. And so now, because we acquiesce to the powers outside of us, which is another acquiesce I believe is taking on now, we are in a position where we got to increase taxes on the everyday consumer product. I think we need to move cautiously, and sometimes in our haste to follow the world and to follow the instructions that the world give us, we move our country to a place that the people cannot bear it.
We once had a thriving internet gaming industry in Antigua that employed over 4,000 people. That industry is gone now due to actions of the United States.
I believe those who look at it carefully will see what, in effect, this tax has done. Has made them a private government entity where the state is now in the business of gaming. And obviously the church is not looking too well on that.
Now, if the government is going to impose a second tax on the patrons, certainly the patrons are going to say, no way, no way. It is unacceptable for the government to impose two taxes on one person for one bet. They're really treading on thin ice because of the fact that if the web shops are forced to go back underground or to remove themselves from a regulated environment, this whole exercise fails. And they're bordering very closely, very, very closely on that thin edge. And that's the concern, is that all of these initiatives that you are claiming and that is of an interest to them doesn't add up, primarily because the ultimate position where most web shops find themselves today with these types of increase in taxes is to go someplace where the taxes don't apply.
But let's face it, 60% increase? Oh no. Especially when a few years ago, you said in your campaign that it is totally unacceptable that any kind of taxation like that could be levied on the people.
Most web shops are comfortable there. We just left there a few years back. We're not going to a strange place. We're going back to some place that we have been for decades. We have operated successfully in that environment for decades. We are not sending us to prison. You're not sending us to any dungeon. You're sending us back to a place that we are familiar with. We were conceived in that environment.
Sometimes you wonder why we elect them at all.